Yo, yo, yo! What is up? What I was enjoying the beats. That's always fantastic beats by our guy, the fabulous one, Phable. What is up, bro? Great beat. I'm always appreciate when I put that on. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. So I'm here like doing this, and I have a show to do, and I'm here dancing. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's go. I'm pretty hyped tonight. We got ourselves a fantastic show tonight. Um, Before we talk what we're gonna talk, it says it in the title, but you guys know I like to like make it, like we don't know what it is, but um, Big Herm Collectibles here again with the show. I didn't have a show on Whiplash Wednesday, but you guys know, I'll be back on Whiplash Wednesday. Whiplash Wednesday. I can't even talk today. Whiplash Wednesdays. This Wednesday, I'm gonna try my best to be on there because I love Whiplash Wednesdays. It's still alive, guys. We're still there. We're still there. We just some of the guys got busy. You know what I mean? Life threw curveballs and all that, but we're still here. And I'm here with before we go over the lineup. I'm here with my homies. Like you see a lot of Phable, myself, a lot of Steph missing link. You know what I'm saying? Comickings, Randy's a little hiatus right now. We've seen a lot of him, but every once in a while we get to see these brothers right here. Introducing my man that way. What is up?
What's up, brother? You
My
ready to
man
do this?
JT. John Thomas is here
Oh, there it
live
is.
with us.
Thank you,
Let's
brother.
go. How you doing, bro? Cause wait, you kind of came up with this idea to review this show, you know, with this book and stuff like that. So yeah, man, how'd you come up with the idea? It just popped in your head out of nowhere.
Well, I was trying to come up with show ideas, and because I wanted to do it with brother Joe first and foremost, and I was trying to think, what we could do, uh, to use all our common interests, and I didn't know what kind of comic books that brother Joe had read, and I'm pretty much Batman and horror, so that's kind of limited too. But I knew we both read the Crimson Cage. So I was like, well, how about a comic book review on that? I mean, it's just another excuse to talk about wrestling anyway.
Wrestling and comics, man, great combination. And talk about wrestling and comics. We just got this guy in comics, and now he's all in. He's going on cons and all of that, and he's buying all these books, all these slabs. He got more slabs than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what up? So my man, brother Joe, is in the house. What's up, brother Joe?
Ladies and gentlemen, for the two in attendance, and maybe the few people watching at home, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah,
Nice.
brother Joe. That was excellent. That was excellent, brother Joe. Always. We can't wait to see what song you have for tomorrow, and we'll talk about that in a second. But before we get to Crimson Cage right here, you know what I mean? I'll give myself a little bit of a Crimson Cage. This is what we're doing, guys. Crimson Cage, the whole series, the whole 5 issues. We're not going like the whole book and all that. We pinpoint highlights. We're gonna chat about it, what we thought about it, and everything, and then we're gonna go through each book. You know what I'm saying? So this is our little experiment. It's not gonna be the first series we do together. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, there's other wrestling books. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something else we want to do. Maybe sports or something. A book about sports, but anything like this, we're definitely gonna do and keep doing. You know what I mean? So, great series. I enjoyed it. John Lee, you know what I'm saying? Alex Cormack, the drawing. We'll talk about all that. Ashley Cormack. So I'm guessing there's a story there between both of them. Are they related and stuff like that? We'll talk about that in a second. But before we get to that, let's go to the chats real quick. We might have a few people on there. You never know. Maria Station
Guys,
says, Station, let's get ready to rumble. Station, Maria, the help me out here. The
Creative director, brother.
creative director of I worked all day today, guys. Forgive me. I just got home. I'm
You're
really
excused.
mad. I'm because I'm excited for this show. But creative director Maria, love you. Station, thumbnails all the time. Fire. You know what I mean? And the fabulous one. The fabulous one is here. Station.
Station.
Always put on the great beats for our
The
shows and
tribal
stuff like
chief.
that. The tribal chief. You know what I mean? The new baby's name is Roman, so you better be careful. You know what I mean?
That's what
Acknowledge him.
Acknowledge him. Yvette Velez, my mama.
Station Mama Herm.
Happy day to you. Always happy. Well, Billy Power Max in the house. Power Max. Yeah, let's go, Billy. James Phelps in the house. Station, man. He's always
Station,
everywhere.
James.
He always shows up whenever he can. Always appreciate it. And then Eric the Stash. The Stash one.
Stash.
He wasn't gonna be on here. He didn't get to read it. I had to call you out a little bit, Eric. But you need to read it so you can tell us what you think. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a little bring you back or something, and you tell us what you think, because we really want to see what others outside of wrestling think of this book, because I think this book is phenomenal, even if you're not a wrestling fan.
Yes.
So real quick, I'll keep saying real quick. You guys know it's like a 10-minute real quick, so that's me. You know what I mean? Real quick, we got a few things happening throughout the last couple of days. My Chamorro Cinema, top 5 Ranger costumes. I didn't get to watch it yet, but I'm definitely gonna sit down, watch it on the rewind, guys. You haven't seen it? Link is down below in the box. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. He always putting up some bomb videos and stuff like that. And then, of course, tonight, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we're the official pre-show to the horror show that's happening tonight. Dylan's horror show, Firestarter, man. One of my favorite as a kid, man. If there's any show that I want to premiere on that show, it would have been any movie. That would have been one of them right there. Firestarter. Man, I wish I had a chance to see it again. Probably will. You guys seen that movie?
Long
back
time
in the day?
ago, bro. Yeah, long time
man,
ago.
Classic, man. Classic.
Yes, very good.
Help me out here. Her name?
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Thank you, JT. That's
Yep.
why I got you guys here, to remind me of names, because the names go from here to over there, and I keep forgetting. I forget my own name. It wasn't on the, on here, right here. You know what I mean? I can't even know where to point at it. You know what I'm saying? So right there, and then of course, tomorrow. That's the wrong one. Tomorrow is the return of a very popular show. Now, a lot of people have been asking when you guys are coming back. Boom! Tomorrow.
There it is.
Playing Phable Tonight Show with Missing Link and Big Herm. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Of course, our guest is a special guest is Nick Kicks and Comics. We can never get enough Nicks. You know what I'm saying? What's in the Harold Coomers? Go to White Castle. You know what I'm saying? One of the classic from back in 2004 and stuff like that. We're gonna have a ball with my man Nick. You know what I'm saying? Former New Yorker. Sorry, JT. Former New Yorker. He roots for the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks and all my teams.
Hey, man, we don't want to bring out no chairs yet.
It's finally gonna feel like a Sunday again tomorrow, brother.
Yeah,
we got the Blaine Phable show back. We got Rock and Robbie back. It's finally gonna feel like Sunday.
Speaking of Robbie, Rock and Robbie
there
live,
he is.
Right after we're the official pre-show to the Rock and Robbie live show. You know what I'm saying? So so a lot of awesome stuff happening, and and of course the Dylan show is happening in like a half an hour. We're still here rambling about shows. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, no rush. Anybody who don't want to miss that, you're watching this and just don't want to miss that, if they come on, go watch them. Watch the rest of us on the rewind, or finish us and watch them on the rewind. What? You know what I'm saying? What? You know what I'm saying?
Live that rewind life, brother.
Yeah, rewind life. That's what I gotta do. And, today and tomorrow.
I'm always
rewinding.
Yeah.
That's how life throws you all these curveballs and stuff, like, especially work. I gotta talk about that.
I'm still on nights. You got free.
I feel like I'm doing nights were better, because during days I'm up really early and I come late, really late. I'm like, what's going on here? It's supposed to be better. You know what I'm saying? It'll be better later as long as I get a little better at it. But enough about that. We're gonna talk Crimson Cage issue number uno. Number uno. Guys, this is one of my favorite wrestling um stories in a long time. John Lee killed it with his writing, and of course, it starts out with you know what I mean, like a little like bruja. They say in Spanish, witchcraft thing looking there. What was going on here, guys? Kind of like witchcraft.
Yeah,
So,
some scary looking creatures or something.
and this was like in Louisiana, right? That's where that all
Yeah,
that stuff
I
is.
think he did that well because Louisiana is known for the voodoo and the dark magic and stuff. So I think I believe John Lees is from Scotland. He's not even from the United States. And to know that he really did his research. I got to give him props because that was a
Right.
very good locale for this story. Was Louisiana for those
Yeah.
reasons.
First of all,
Right. Go ahead, bro, Joe.
we're talking about uh, a comic book, and to have the storyline, the subject matter being wrestling. Okay, so that in itself is a limited group, a small quantity of the comic book community. So he had to use, I think he had to use that voodoo stuff to draw in a bigger crowd, not just a wrestling crowd. He brought that in to bring a more like suspicious type, extra supernatural.
Yeah, that makes sense. John Lees is a horror writer. He's writing Hotel. He wrote Sink, and he's mostly known for his horror. Even the artist on this book is Alex Cormack, and I believe he did the Sea of Sorrows horror book a while back. But yeah, a very good team.
Yeah, you also the Ashley Cormack. Is there any relation to the letter or something like that?
I don't know if it's his wife or his sister or something.
I know. It's just
I
I'm
do
looking
believe
at that.
I do believe they're family though.
Yeah, like I was trying to figure that out. I couldn't find anything on that. But hey, it is what it is, right? So
Right.
we see all that in the front, and then like in the beginning, it draws us wrestling fans right away because you have a big guy going nuts. By the way, this is taking place in 1984, which is the time of the territory days kind of thing. So this is what this is implying. You see a lot of that in this whole story. We'll go through that a little bit later. But of course, you see some guy going going crazy like that. You know what I mean? And he's attacking this dude, and we don't know who this dude is yet. You know what I mean? He's just attacking him, and he's like, you see, he's like razoring himself, and
Yeah, he's blading.
he's blading and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Then you see his manager, which is his wife. No, leave him alone, leave him alone. He pushes her. She takes a bump. That's what a lot of people, wrestling fans. There's a lot of wrestling lingo in here by
Yes.
John Lee, and you see that a lot. And she hits the floor and all that, and everybody like booing him and stuff. Frenzy, you know, and all that. You see Frenzy come out in the blood right there. Um, clothesline him, makes what you call, we people will call like what do you
The
call that?
comeback.
The comeback,
The baby face comeback.
the baby face comeback. That's what I was looking for. The big baby face comeback. Gives him a clothesline. Everybody's frenzy. He gives him like a flying leg drop, kind of like implementing like Hulk Hogan, but in the air kind of thing. Um, you see a lot. You see a lot, and you start seeing other kind of wrestlers in this as you go through the story. But we're gonna keep going through the story. He gets the pin and all that. So in the background, you see him. They're talking because the wrestlers, it is orchestrated. If people say it's fake, fake, fake. No, wrestling's not fake. Like they go through a lot, and put their bodies and underline and stuff like that. So the guy, like who plays, and it happens a lot in real life. The guy who plays the bad guy, the villain, you know what I'm saying, the heel that they call in wrestling, he's concerned to the wife. The wife took a big bump, and he's like, "Oh my God, she's okay."
Wait a minute.
What's it? Go ahead, brother Joe.
You know, the loser gets paid more than the winner. Let me tell the audience that. the loser gets paid more than the winner because you're trying to get the winner, whichever. Sometimes there's bad guy baby faces and good guy baby faces. It's all changed up. So whoever you're getting over, the owners say, look, between you two, you're winning tonight. So make it look good. Make it, let me have a good dance, a good workout, but you're getting the purse and you're getting the glory. Okay, it's a deal. Shit, I don't care. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. So
I make money in this business.
what's that, brother Joe? I didn't even know that. I didn't know that, the loser gets more. I didn't know. I thought the winner did, but I guess
sounds good.
Sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying? And then, but he says my wife, which I keep forgetting her name. You guys probably remember her name, but
Charlene.
Charlene. There you go, Charlene.
Charlene.
She was like, "Oh, I'm good." You know what I'm saying? Of course she's in pain. She's actually a natural wrestler, even though she's playing manager. So back in the day, the women weren't really respected as wrestlers, even in 1984. You know what I mean? So
that was the go take a piss and eat a sandwich break part of the wrestling matches.
Yeah, and you see more of her a little bit later. You know what I mean? So we go on.
There's a fetish out there, where some people like to get beat up. Me, myself, I wouldn't want to get beat up. I run away from a fight. But there's some people out there like Fight Club. Come on, shit. Hey, man, this pain, this feels good. Shit, let's go. And once you get that adrenaline rush,
boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people thrive on this. In wrestling, a lot of these wrestlers, that's what they do. They thrive on everything they do. So, there's conversation between, the villain, the hero, they're friends. You know what I'm saying? The heel and the babyface. So they have this whole conversation, you know what I mean? And
he's
walking
because he thought he hurt the valet. And that Frizz is telling him, hey, man, it's all cool. It's all cool.
She kind of gets offended because she's been doing it for quite a while, just as long as her husband, Chuck. And she kind of gets mad because she says, doesn't he know I can take a bump? I've been doing this for years. So, I don't know. She got upset about that.
Yeah, show her taping them up and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. You see them at the bar talking, and this is where it gets weird,
Yeah, it gets a little interesting now.
Yeah. They start talking about I don't know, making love to a gator or I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, that was kind of off the wall.
They were drunk.
Yeah.
And then somehow our guy, that frenzy guy, runs into whatever the heck is going on in that jungle in Louisiana. We just talked about all the voodoo and stuff happening. So,
well, I don't know a lot about the Louisiana voodoo queens and stuff like that, but there's some spiritual black, they call it black magic and all that stuff. I know about it, but I steer clear.
There's a lot of talk like that in Louisiana and anything like that in those kind of states, especially with swamps and stuff like that. There was a lot of talk about that in the Latin islands. You know what I mean? There was a lot of talk like that in the Latin islands and stuff. Yep. In my island, Puerto Rico, talk about that there too. So it's not new for people there, but like for the states, people they don't know about that. It's like believing in all the other Easter Bunny and all that to them, the Bigfoot and stuff like that. So there are people that really don't believe in that and stuff like that. And there's people that do, and there's some people are in the middle. Like it's possible, you know what I'm saying? But keep on keeping on so we can finish this issue. You see a lot of the gathering of the wrestlers. This is what I love about this story. There's a lot of gatherings of the wrestlers where they plan each other, they plan everything, and then you got the wife, which they're nude in the room, and she's telling them you need to get your to get your big shot. You know what I'm saying? She keeps pushing them because she's not gonna get it because she's trying, you know what I mean? But she's definitely not trying, she's trying to get him up so he could get noticed, and maybe she could get noticed and stuff like that. So you see this Ric Flair kind of guy pop in. You know what I mean? You almost once you see that in your head, you're like, woo!
Yeah.
Jet flying, limousine riding.
Four horse. They're called the Diamond Exchange or something, but to me, I can see.
Yeah. So
it's funny how there's 4 of them.
yeah, I think that was done on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was really done on
He
purpose.
definitely took that from Flair, I believe.
And then there's this whole battle of royal. So this promotion, so this guy's the champion of the bigger promotion, that he goes through other territories and challenges whoever is coming up big in that territory for the championship, which he's had for years. I don't remember how many years he's had it. You guys remember? It was a lot of years he's had it.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So he visits New Orleans, and they have a little battle royal. The winner of the battle royal, he's in there. You know what I mean? The winner of the battle royal, gets a championship title shot in that territory. You know what I'm saying? And guess who wins? Our guy,
Chuck Frenzy.
Chuck Frenzy. You know what I mean? Then, like, after in the background, he's like makes friends with him and stuff like that. And like, oh, rah, 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 yay, woo, what's going on, man? And he's like, man, you were great out there and stuff like that. You got to come out to dinner. And he's like, really? Drinks and stuff like that. Woo, and all that. And then, like, of course, his wife instigates, like, yeah, you got to do that, man. You got to do that. That's the champ. You know what I mean? So the champ gets to know the champion of the small promotion pretty much. Like, he's, like, their champion, stuff like that. But, like, they have a little talk, everything, blah, 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 blah. And then they got a little get together at the end. He starts to get serious. He's like, you know what? My career is ending. You know what I'm saying? I need there's gonna be a new babyface coming out here, take the title from me. I went through different territories. I couldn't find a good one. Maybe you're the good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he wanted to groom him. That's what they call it. They groom the next champ.
The next champ. So he's like, you're not gonna win, but we're gonna make you look good, like you're ready to win. Because that's what they used back in the day. They didn't. Whoever the champ faces and the challenger that's gonna end up beating him, they didn't always win right away. You know what I'm saying? They had a big match, but the opponent looked really good, and maybe if he gets a little better, he can beat him the next time.
Right.
And that was the plan here. That was the plan. Then they have the talk and all that. He was suicide talk and all that. I don't know. You know what I mean? So the big match comes in. They have the big match. Boom, boom, boom. They have blah, blah, blah. He gets the big baby face. Come back and all that. And then, like, out of nowhere, they're fighting still. They're fighting. Boom, 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 boom. And then out of nowhere, he, like, does like an audible type thing. You know what I mean? He's like, what are you doing? And he says, just let me make the move on you and don't get up. You know what I mean? Don't get up. What? Don't get up. You know what I mean? And he just ends up pinning him. He just ends up there for a long time. And in his mind, Frenzy, should I get up? You know what I mean? He ends up staying there and he ends up getting pinned. You know what I'm saying? And then, the winner is Van Emerald. You know what I mean? He's like,
yep.
And he's like telling ha 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 to the wife right there. She's looking all mean and stuff like that. And yeah, man, a lot of that happened. In the background, he gets crazy. Where is he? Where is he? You know what I mean?
Well, tell him what it's called, Herm.
What?
Tell him what that's called.
What's that called?
The swerve.
Yep, he got the swerve.
He got the swerve.
He told him one thing and did another.
And then the wife is all pissed off. He goes to the other horsemen that we talked about. They're like, oh no,
Booker T and Stevie Ray.
Booker T. He's like, you should know better. He was, he's been champion for a long time. You know what I mean? He's not ready to give that title up. So he goes from territory to territory and smooths it out with all the competitors. He does that to everybody. And then he made them what they call bury them. He literally buried him that he's so good that they're the champion from that territory couldn't get up or couldn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't let him look good. He just laying there. That means he's not ready or he's not gonna beat this guy. Then he goes to another territory, stuff like that. So you see the wife is kind of pissed. Oh, what happened? You promised you that. F this and F that. A lot of F bombs. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to lose
And
momentum in your territory. You don't want to look like number 2 because that's once you lose momentum, the crowd turns on you and starts looking for a new face.
Yeah.
yeah, that's happened a lot in the territory era. You know what I mean? So like we see like, oh, she's up to no good. She's up to no good, and like the wife is mad. Oh, we gotta go get him and stuff like that. And that's how the issue ends, man. A lot of like excitement for that issue. What you guys think, man?
I don't know if we went over it, but did we talk about when he left the bar, when he went to go chase the his heel? You know, they had to keep kayfabe and make the regular people think that, you know, they're still feuding with each other, and then they went out to the swamp where they met those sirens or voodoo queens and they
Yeah, I
basically
forgot
laid
about
a
that.
promise. You know, you could be champion, you can have all this, but it comes at a price, which means basically killing the champion, Emerald Golden. And you see at a particular scene where they got together after the match, and he's kind of, you know, ribbing them on, and they're on a building, and it looks like a skyscraper or a girder or some sort. And you can see the way that the artist draws it. He draws him like he's going to push the champion off the building, but then the champion turns around at the last minute and he doesn't go through with it. So the thought was in his head that, you know, maybe if I kill this guy, I'll get what they prophesize. You know, those swamp queens or whatever they were back at the bar there. So he's thinking about it. He's having dark thoughts, and he's thinking, okay, maybe if I kill him, I'll get what they promised.
Yeah, man. Good, good. I forgot to talk about that. All that went through. That's a big part of it. That's the whole thing in the
Right.
beginning when you saw the voodoo happening and stuff like that. So exactly, that was a big promise, and we get a lot of that in this whole series and stuff like that. With great job, JT.
Thank you.
That's what I
Thank you.
gotta
Thank
say.
you.
But now we go to issue number 2. Issue number
Issue
2,
two.
we see the big championship, uh, which is the background of our show right here. Number 2,
A
um,
belt covered in blood.
belt covered in blood. So yeah, you see the frenzy guy kind of pissed off right there. Uh, oh man. So you know, he's legit pissed off. He's not like working pissed off. In wrestling, it's things are called a work. You see a guy really mad at the other guy, you know, and you know what I mean, and cuts him. They call that a work. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And if they're serious, they talk about, oh, he's being straight. You know what I mean? You
To
know what I'm
shoot.
saying? What
Yeah.
it's a shoot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it pretty much is a shoot. He's really pissed off. The guy lied to him. You know what I mean?
And what do
And
you relate that to? I related to the Montreal screw job with Bret Hart.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they take a. That's what I'm saying. A lot of history of wrestling.
Is
Johnny
in here. Yeah.
takes that. Yeah,
When you get
yeah.
screwed, uh, F bomb.
Okay. um, so they go to the room. The room's all trashed. You know what I'm saying? So they're ready to go get this guy, and all they see is all the horror happening. Like this
Yeah.
literally is a horror book. You know what I mean? Literally.
Yeah.
Um, as they go through, he ends up slamming into. Oh, I call him Ric Flair all the time.
Yeah. I think that's
With
where he got this
them,
character from.
yeah. So he's like going over there. And the guy's like not taking him serious. He's like, hey, hey, I've been. This is what he tells him. I've been champ all this time, man. What do you think was gonna happen? I'm just gonna hand you the type championship. So you
Mhm.
could tell right here he's so enamored with the title, he's not giving that up. You know what I
No,
mean? And he's like, he softened him up to let him trust him. He does that from territory to territory. And remember, there's no cell phones, no social media at the time.
right.
There's no way like you can get the word out like
That's a
that
good
unless
point.
you know
Yeah,
them. You know what I mean? There's
that's a
people
good
don't know
point.
about all these different territories. You know what I'm saying? So like back in the day, there were a lot of wrestling territories, a lot, small, big. There's a lot of wrestling now happening, but back in the day, it was literally territories all around the states. Then you have international territory, and it was very sacred. And you couldn't just go in that territory and start your own thing. You know what I mean? Without telling them, you know, that was they were the main, you know, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? AWA and all those other type of territories. So
And some of the bigger territories, like the more well-known champions that were always on TV, they'd loan them out to the small promotions, and that's just what this Emerald guy is. He's the big champion of the whole wrestling industry, and he gets loaned out to these small territories, and that's where he meets Chuck in Louisiana when he's making a pass through that territory, and that's kind of how they hook up. And then he'll go to another territory, probably mess with their top guy, and so on and so on.
So yeah, so you know they have a scuffle and all that, and they
Hmm.
end up he ended up going crazy and taking him out. He took out the champ. You know what I mean? Slice and diced him. You know,
Yeah,
to his death. You
he
know,
killed him.
and he talk about Crimson Cage. It's like he's surrounded by blood. There's blood everywhere. And
Yeah.
of course, the wife Charlene comes out of nowhere, brings him up. Um, you know, cleans him up all over the shirt and everything. You know, and then
She pulls the dagger out of
hmm
Emerald's body and actually places it in the friend's hands or whatever, his lap, because he's passed out drunk in the room as well. So they're trying to make it look like the friend did it, so they won't be suspecting Chuck Frenzy or the wife.
And that's where he put in the Shakespeare Macbeth theory storyline because he had to kill him to fulfill his destiny
Right.
and the consequences of what happens afterward.
yeah, and
Yep.
also that friend that was with him is a friend that he's beat before. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's really close with stuff like that. Um, that would have been champion is actually and eventually throughout the story you'll find out that the friend is actually a better wrestler than the actual champion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he admitted that. Yeah.
And so yeah, so a lot of that's going on. But since uh the champion is always enamored with the title, nobody gets it, not even his best friend. Stab everybody in the back for it.
Hmm.
Cutthroat type of thing, and sometimes
Protect
that
your
did happen
spot.
back in the day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I remember that happening a lot to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I hear stories like that where he was like moving up, ready to be the champ, and whoever was in charge, you know what I mean, told him to do things a certain way, you know, and one day Ricky the Dragon caught up to that and just left the territory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so you hear a lot of that, and you see a lot of that in here. That's why I enjoy this story so much. And like, if you not a wrestling fan, you're gonna enjoy it. If you're a wrestling fan, you're really gonna enjoy it because you get to see a lot of that in this book.
Yes.
So of course you can see the wife talking them down and all that. It's the corporate, you know what I mean? Get yours type of thing. So I'm
Right.
moving on in the story before we keep going. If you guys remember anything in the issue worth talking about, let me know. Um, but you know the murder scene and all that, they like I don't know what happened, but eventually they go up to him and they're like, you need to be the champ. You need to we're gonna give it to you. And the two contenders is his buddy, that pushed his wife and all that.
Hmm.
He was actually a pretty good wrestler too. That just couldn't get over the hump type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then ding ding ding, the big match happened between them and all that. And long story short, Chuck becomes a champion. Frenzy, the champ is here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's another guy. But so he's a champion. You guys remember what JT said about the whole deal that he made? He's a champ.
The prophecy was fulfilled.
It was. So now he's going through territories and fighting other people for that championship and stuff like that. And the prophecy is he only gets one title shot, like one
run,
one run, and that's it. So he keeps going, and now his wife starts to get noticed a little bit. She's wrestling on her own, and he's always worried about what she's doing and stuff like that. So she's doing her thing. You see a guy here look like Cowboy Orton right there.
That's who I thought of too, brother.
Yeah.
I thought of Cowboy Bob.
Cowboy Bob Orton, yeah. And,
Randy's dad.
Randy's dad. And yeah, man, that reminded me, and he ends up being one of the big baby faces from that territory. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he looked like he's ready for that. And then this little deal comes out. You guys remember what that was about? With the guys right there, he comes out of nowhere, and they start blaming him.
Yeah, they're suspicious because they got pushed to the back, and they kind of traveled, like we said, like as the Four Horsemen. So they're all friends, and they come right out and accuse them and say, "Hey, we know it was you." Because let's see here if I can put my glasses on. Yeah, the last panel on the page, it says, "Oh, we have a pretty good idea who it might have been," and they got him backed up and they're cornering him. So they're basically accusing him. We know it was you.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, you denying all that. And you see this whole thing coming out in the dark right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep going. No, you're dead. So he's like having nightmares and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's really starting to get to him now.
Starting to get to his head little by little. You know what I mean? Because he made this deal, and it's the only reason why he's champ. So he's going through hell, while the wife is having a good time, trying to be a wrestler and stuff like that.
I looked at this and I immediately thought of Sensational Sherry.
Sherry.
Yeah, the way she's standing in front of the mirror and she got the hair up like that and the makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there she is.
Sensational Sherry. I thought the same thing. A lot of wrestling fans probably think that a lot, but that's pretty much it. He's down in the dumps right there because he's thinking about it. He's a champ. He wanted his glory, what he worked for all his life as a wrestler, but he's not enjoying it right now. He's not. And then the next one, you see him drowning in blood right there. So issue 2, another excellent issue. You know what I mean?
It because he's having these freaking nightmares that's tormenting him.
Yes.
It's just keep on. Whenever you make a deal like that, like you made a deal with the devil, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you got to know it's not going to end in a good way, and that's got to be run on your mind. You got running on your mind is like, all right, how am I going to get? How's this going to affect me in the long run? I'm living good right now, but I know this is going to end badly for me. So how does it end, and when does it end? And that'll freak you out, bro.
Yeah, big time. So moving on to issue number 3.
Issue 3.
Issue numero 3.
Drowning in the blood.
Freaking getting good. Fantastic wrestling story. Fantastic story, period. You know what I mean?
It is.
You try to tell it. That's what wrestling is like. Beauty. It's like it's like they always say, it's so proper for men kind of thing. That's pretty much what it is. So it's a work of art. You know what I mean? And of course you got. What is this about, guys? You got the former number 1 contender all angry there. What's going on? So I've never been much of a talker. I was a shy kid. I hated it about that. So you have the whole promo happening with this guy.
I
But
think
yeah,
those promos in the beginning was talking to the reader, not necessarily to the crowd. I think they were talking to the reader.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good point.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Because
And
his
see, yeah,
job.
because
Go ahead.
every issue starts off with the promo in the beginning. If you'll notice, uh, like the last issue was Chuck, and this issue was Grud, and I believe the next issue is Charlene. Yeah, they all start off the same. They start off with a promo, and I think you're right, Joe. I think they're talking more to the audience, the reader, than carrying along the story. I mean, it carried along the story, but you know what I mean. They're
Yeah,
talking to the reader.
like a side personal touch.
Right, right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what you say. I love it. I love it. It reminds me a lot of that time. It's very well written, very well done. It's 80s right there. And
Mhm.
it's nostalgia hitting a lot of us when we read this. But as a reader that's not into wrestling, you can see stuff and start like understanding it more. You know what I mean? It's a work of art, man. So
It
you have
really
like this
is.
whole battle royal again, stuff like that. Um, where you have the best friend end up pinning his buddy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, pin, and then whenever you pin a champion, whether it's in a tag match or stuff like that, exhibition, you automatically become like the number one contender. Like you beat the
Right.
champion.
Looks
You know what
good.
I mean?
It looks good. They let them push you. From that point on, you might get the push, you might not, but most likely you might.
So the talk is here. You got the promoter there, kind of like it, and things start a little turning for the champion here. It's looking like the promoter is looking to make him a transition champion, which
Yeah.
that's what it's called. Whenever they take the belt off whoever the champion's been around for a long time, and transitioning to another, they want another champion to have the title. But
Because back in the day, they didn't put babyface against babyface. It was always usually babyface against heel. And if you already have a babyface champion, and you want another babyface champion in the end, you kind of have to go through the heel to get to the next heel to the next babyface. So that's what Herm's talking about is a transitional champion. The heel would be
there
the
you go.
transitional champion, just to take the belt off one babyface to put it on to another babyface.
There you go. There you go. That's why I love you, JT. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Station, Mr. Comic King. We had a
Station.
lot of awesome people in the chat. Robbie was up in here. He answered our question earlier. I don't even know if I could find it. He said Ashley and Alex are married. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So we got Chamorro up in the house, stuff like that. Bobby De La Ghetto Hardcore
Station.
Station. On all that. Sleepy Readers up in the house. Station. Station.
Station.
So
Sleepy.
station to everybody. Felt still up in here. So I hope you guys are enjoying our little conversation about this issue as we move on to the GTA heavyweight championship of the world. Are you ready? Right, brother Joe? Right there. So they're having this championship match. And the guy deserves it. Stuff like that. The whole spiel we said earlier and all that. So they're having a brawl right there, and everything the brawl happens. And guys, it's all work, like what we said earlier. Um, they had a great fight. The champion wins, and you know, gets close. You could have been champion too, kind of thing. And then he gives him a hug there. What was that about, guys? Come on. It looks like he's like he looks like he's going a little loco. You know what I mean? That's not just a regular hug there. What's going on there, guys?
He could feel that his friendship with the
Yes.
guy. You could feel it because just like two buddies wrestling on screen, I hate your guts, but backstage, I gotta travel with you. I gotta eat with you. Sometimes I gotta sleep with you if we ain't got enough money for a hotel room.
Yeah.
So look, we bond, baby. We bond.
And it's kind of weird, even though because I think they both kind of playing baby faces in a way. So they can, because back then a heel and a baby face could not travel together. Like
Right.
unheard of. You do not see it ever, ever.
It
Like
was frowned upon.
very
Yeah,
frowned upon.
you had it was called you had to keep kayfabe, and you had to
Kayfabe. Yep.
keep the rules of bad guys versus good guys, and they're mortal enemies, and they don't talk to each other.
Outside of the ring, you still had to work. They still.
Right.
That's why
But
guys like the Undertaker did it their whole career. He did it his whole
Yes.
career, even after everything that happening. So go ahead, brother Joe.
that fatal day at Madison Square Garden where the Click broke it down.
Yeah.
Never the same after that.
Yeah.
Never the same. I mean, we can
And
get together. We can get together. We don't have to be in separate locker rooms.
you know who got the worst of that was Triple H, because he was still had to stay with the company. All the other wrestlers were leaving for WCW at the time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
Vince took it out on his former son or his son-in-law. His He would become his son-in-law, but not at that point in
Former
time.
son-in-law. Are you saying something? So
No, no,
both
no,
of them
no.
getting
I
divorced?
no, I don't think they're getting divorced. But at that time, they weren't married. Herm's trying to get me.
All right, back to the story. We
Yes,
getting
sir.
out of it now. So we have like a little thing happening here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like it's looking like it's getting kind of serious. Uh, we're
Yeah, they're
going into
taking a
the
road trip, and the Grud guy, he's getting kind of sleepy. All of a sudden, he sees somebody in the middle of the road, and it's one of them scary-looking dudes, like from something that they saw at the swamp. And they stop, and what do they say here? Um, yeah, he thinks that he's been waiting on him, so he's kind of like that's his Grim Reaper, and we'll come to find out that that's exactly what it was. And Grodd gets killed. Spoiler.
spoilers. So good, a lot of spoilers happening. So there's a battle royal up next. The wife's not digging it. She already sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Transition champion kind of thing. They work through all this. You know what I'm saying? He sacrificed that to become champion, and it's gonna be taken away from him like that.
Like that.
And he's not digging it. And this battle royal happens. Battle royal happens. I think was this battle royal for the title? I don't remember.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
So
But
the heavyweight
yeah,
champion comes out here.
they're in the battle royal, and all of a sudden, our boy Chuck, he goes into like a dream sequence, or he just loses it, and he sees Grodd in the ring, and he knows that I don't know. Does he know Grodd's dead at that point? But I can't remember. But he sees Grodd in the ring coming after him with these red eyes and blood coming out of his mouth, and he freaks out. And that's kind of how we. Well, no, we have a few more pages, but he's like this this creature that's been possessed, like from those like the swamp queens, I'll call them the voodoo queens.
Yeah, so it gets he starts acting crazy. Even the wife starts like, what is wrong with this dude? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And she goes crazy too. She's like, ha, this is too good. Oh, ha, boys, ha ha ha. So he goes from babyface to heel real fast. You know what I mean?
yeah,
See a lot of that going on, and he's going cuckoo. You see the big battle roar going on, blah 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 blah, and he still sees it. He's going bananas. So
yeah.
it's driving him nuts. At this point, it's
And he's
driving
sitting
him
in the
nuts.
locker room wondering what is going on. He goes, "What's?" And that guy that a guy that was similar to the guy that was in the road, maybe the same guy, the Grim Reaper dude. He shows up, and at the final page, it says, show me Brian's head. That was Grodd, and he actually pulls it up out of the bag or whatever, and he is in fact dead. So that was all a dreamscape or something, because he actually is dead.
Whew,
We kind of
that's
knew
deep,
that
guys.
because we saw the beat down, when he stopped in the road, and he got his head bashed, in the headlights and all over the car. So we kind of didn't think he'd live through that.
Yeah, man. So, boom, issue number 3. That
It's in the
that issue was
books.
great, man. It's in the
Yeah,
books. Still awesome. Still, it's starting to really, really, really get really good. Get really like frenzy, getting nuts, stuff like that. You know, the wife is already nuts. You already see she's nuts.
he's
But
starting to hallucinate, and I think
he's
that's what John Lees does very well. He's showing that side of the hallucination and everything that Chuck is going through, which a lot of psychological storytelling.
well, number 4, guys.
Number
Number 4.
4,
Scary,
Issue
scary.
numero 4.
this scary Sherry.
Scary Sherry. It's all in blood, a crimson blood. You know, which we didn't really explain too much what a crimson is. Like, people know what crimson is, but you know, it's literally when they cut them, they have the little cut blade and they cut right what I showed earlier, and you got
Mhm.
the bloody face, you got the crimson face and all that wrestler stuff like that. And that's what she's got, crimson face. You know what I
Now,
Yeah.
you
mean?
want to tell the audience why they do that?
Go ahead, tell them.
Well, because in order to whip up the crowd, in order to make the crowd go into a frenzy, your beloved babyface hero, if you see them hurt, cut, and bleeding, that when they see the red on their hero, it's like they go mad. They start throwing crazy. They want to see stuff fly. And with the wrestlers, there's an old wrestling motto: red brings green. So if you get cut, if you want to make some more money, if you cut and make the crowd really erupt, you'll have a big payday. You'll get a payday out of it. So that's where that motto comes from.
Yeah, it really gets the crowd into it. When they blade and they cut themselves, and like they start that crimson mask. Ric Flair was known for that. I know the Ric Flair reference because he had that bleach blonde hair, and when he cut himself, that blood really showed up. Him and Dusty Rhodes. You could really
Dusty
see it if
Rhodes.
you were blonde. It really
Turned his hair
accentuated it.
pink.
I'm sorry.
It turned his hair a pinkish color.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that was wild. When he had that Big Mac, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes had that big cage match, very famous cage match, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Ooh, I think that's the night Dusty finally won a championship over him or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, AWA heavyweight champ, the AWA heavyweight champion. But I mean, I think that was the one. Yeah. So we move on to the first page, and there's a promo with a sensational shirt. I mean, Charlene. You know what I mean? And thick promo, like she's doing her thing. You know what I mean? She's trying to like, she's glad her husband's where he's at, but she's trying to move on with her career too. You know what I mean? And then the next page, you got Bob Orton back. You know what I mean? And he's
Hmm.
looking like
He's
he's
gonna
looking
get
like
mad because we changed all these names.
Hey, we can't get
you
sued
know what I
now.
mean? The outlaw Emmett Crow is his name.
Yeah.
Emmett Crow. He's like, I know he believes in I taste defeat before, and when I just letting myself down, it was bearable. But letting down all you people, my people, I say no. So he's that big baby face
Yeah.
because you already know the champions turn heel and stuff like that. So he's that big baby face. Oh, you with me? He's getting the crowd into it because that's pretty
Hmm.
much when you're a baby face, you try to get the crowd to to, to to be with you. You know what I mean? It's
Get
um
him on your side. Yeah.
get them on your side, and a lot of people thought that was easy, and it wasn't. A babyface was
No,
not easy.
they
You know what I
actually
mean?
work
Like
harder.
yeah, yeah, because people like the heels and stuff like that. Even back then, you know what I mean? The heels, because the heels what make the ball keep rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, you gotta to make a great babyface, you need a great heel too. So they kind of like
True.
complement each other and stuff like that. So you already know the challenger right there, and then you got he's talking to the champion. You know what I mean? So you already see the wheels turning. You already
Yep.
seen that he's starting to do what the other guy did. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
So he ain't no better. You got the parents I mean, they're parents of kids, of the contender and the wife and everything. So you know what I mean.
What happens? What happens after the show? Look, come on, I'm cooking steaks at my house. I got a cooler full of beer. Come on over, man. Come on over.
Yeah, we actually find out that he's not even. We find out that he's Native American,
Yeah.
and all the promoters wanted him to do the Indian gimmick,
Woo!
but yeah, he thought that was he was disgracing his heritage. So he said, "Well, I'm also a Texan. I live here in Texas because they're in the Texas territory now, and Texas is known for cowboys, so I'm going to be the cowboy." And he goes, "Screw the promoters. I know I'm proud of my Native American heritage, but I'm not going to wear a headdress to get made fun of every night." He goes,
No.
"I'm going to be the cowboy now."
Yeah, he's a cowboy. Dallas, you think Dallas, you think Texas, you think Devon Eriks and stuff like that.
Yes.
No, I think you get a lot of references on that here too. You
Yeah.
know, so that's really, and of course you have this big championship match, but the wife has her own big match. Um, and fight with this lady. They try to get the attention of the crowd because, like we said, they were just uh intermission for people to go get their popcorn or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
JC said earlier. So she's going out on her own on the road while he's doing his thing, and that's very dangerous. You know, usually you want your husband and vice versa, with you. You know what I mean? But I mean that's what I remember this happening, and all of a sudden, they're having a little brawl right here, and then out of nowhere, you know, when they talk about a wrestler that's green,
Yes.
that means new. You know what I mean? Still wrestling. You know what I mean? She gives her a nice popping elbow right there, pop, right in the
Yeah.
face. Stuff that really happened,
Yeah.
back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, what was that all about, guys?
Yeah. She admits, when they're doing their pregame talk or their pre-match talk, "Hey, I'm green. I've never gone over 10 minutes in a match. I've never wrestled a champion. I'm just basically, the match when everybody goes to get their popcorn, goes to the bathroom, because this match is the biggest match I've ever had." And she's intimidated a little bit, and she's, nervous. So she lays the elbow in, and she blasts her right in the face, and she's covered in blood. And then the wife, she just she sees the blood and just goes crazy.
Switch
And
goes
she
on.
starts loving it. It's like you were saying earlier about like they start really getting into what they're doing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She's like all bloody and stuff, and she's getting a rush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A rush for it. You know what I mean? Like,
And the
yeah,
crowd and the
frenzy,
crowd is really
frenzy,
getting into it
frenzy.
too. The crowd
They
is really
call it.
getting behind her too, because she makes that comeback after getting blasted, and they know it's Chuck Frenzy's wife, and they're kind of getting behind her, and they even say something when they get back to the locker room that, how are the how's the main event going to live up to that match, which I guess they did a really great job in getting the crowd behind them and putting on a good match. And she gets back to the dressing room, and you see her she's looking in the mirror, and all of a sudden she just throws her head into the mirror, smashing it. And I don't know what that's about.
That's about the rush, man.
Yeah,
Rush.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
she
she's
she
kind of
definitely
like
had something on the mind.
it's almost like she's more crazier without the voodoo
Yeah,
than the
yeah,
husband.
good point.
Cause yeah, cause that's what she's thriving. You know what I mean? And she comes in and says that was incredible. They were supposed to go a certain amount of minutes, and she went over like 10 minutes. She apologized. Oh, sorry, I went over 10 minutes. But that's what happens when people have matches and they become really good. And the crowd's into it. You're allowed to go a little bit extra, and you take some of the time from the main eventers. Why not? You know what I mean? They give them a
Right.
little less time, but they give them so much time that they took the time, and that's something female wrestlers couldn't get back in the day. You know what I mean? They do that. They used to get really in trouble and get buried. You won't see them for a long time. You
Mhm.
know, so it looks like she's getting the popularity from the crowd and everything. Very well done. And then of course On the next page, they're talking about all the champions and stuff like that. The promoters there,
The big
and
Yeah,
what?
it's a female portrayed in the book, but I'm almost sure that's almost Vince McMahon because
It's
she's got
not.
this idea. She's got
Go
this
ahead. Go ahead.
idea. Go ahead.
No, no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
She has this idea to take all the territories, get their best talent. Well, I'm jumping ahead toward the end of the book, but getting all their best talent, put them together for this huge super show, kind of like what Vince did with WrestleMania, the very first WrestleMania. But they're going to call it the Crimson Cage, and that's who I like in her. I mean, I know she's female in the book, but I think she was patterned after Vince McMahon.
I agree. I agree. So I'm a little distracted with the Sheena's in the house. Station Sheena.
Station
Um,
Sheena.
Phelps is still up with us. Stuff like that. Exactly what you just said. Vince McMahon. That's what I was thinking when I was reading this. 'Cause I was thinking maybe David Crockett, but like you said, all the did I say his name right? I probably messed up his name, but
Yeah, it was
uh,
David Crockett.
David Crockett and all that. But she really wanted to do all that, and man, Vince McMahon, they changed it because they're trying not to copy, copy infringement. I guess I don't think they could get that. It's a comic book, but
Hmm.
very well done. Of course, you see I dropped the title. I mean, because he was already smelling it. He was already smelling it,
Yeah.
and he was
And
like,
now
he
it's
went
now
through.
it's slap in the face. You're dropping it. He's coming to the fact that that's what they want.
And he's like, so that's it. That that's it. You know what I mean? That's
Hmm.
it, man. So so it was like Ravishing Rick Rude looking dude. You know what I mean? He's just like gets to the limo and all that.
Yeah.
He's like, well, come in here. And they're like they what's going on here, guys?
Yeah, he's going through one of those bad fever dreams or whatever, those hallucinations.
It's like he's
And
hallucinating.
yeah, he's seeing all kinds of creatures and blood, and the coloring in this book is really good, especially when they want to highlight the bloody, well, the Crimson Cage, I guess, all the crimson blood. And then the page I'm on, he's back at the house and he's talking to his wife. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, you
Chuck, I'm
see that.
home. Where are you? I'm in here. Charlene, what
Uh,
happened? Oh, it's a couple of potatoes from the. Oh, she's talking about the match she had with the greenhorn, that girl that stiffed her in the face, and it's good. It's good for you. That it'll be good for your career, and yeah, it's going over the match.
and
Yeah, and
that's
they're talking about kind of what she wants, what her dreams now.
international, international champion. You know what I mean?
Yes,
That's where it's at for the females. Back in the day, it was
yes, that lady from
international
Japan. Yes,
Japanese. But which still wasn't respected back in the day neither. That they had to do a lot of like things that you don't really see. What I mean, to each
right.
other. What I mean, it was very weird, very sexual. It's
Yes.
yes, sexual in nature. Brandon's in the house, but so yeah, that's her dream to go over there. That's her big title dream and stuff like that. So the next page, of course, you got Bob Orton. You know what I mean? And thing is heating up with it. You know what I mean? And the crazy wife, boom, at the whole promo, hits him with a chair. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hits him with a chair after the whole promo. So they're gearing up for the championship fight. And he's actually looking like
What they
he's
did right there was called the classic heel turn, because Chuck was still the babyface at the time, but
yes,
but he knows that this cowboy, he's the next one, he's the next champion. So they do the heel turn, and that's why the wife comes from behind and whacks him with a chair, whacks the cowboy, and then they cut this promo, and they're talking all kind of. That part reminded me of I don't know if you guys remember Kevin Sullivan when he did the
yeah,
whole like he was possessed by a demon down in Florida, the Florida territory. He would talk all kind of mumbo jumbo and roll his eyes back in his head, like before Undertaker used to do it, obviously, but. It reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah. Whew. And of course, towards the bottom of that, you know what I mean? There's this talk, this whole, but like usually you would think is a work, but for the champion, it looks like it's a really something, a shoot.
Yeah,
Because in the
yeah,
next page, all of a sudden, he shows up very creepy,
yeah. Because
and
not to interrupt you, Herm, but even at the last page on that, the last panel on that page, even the boss is like, "What the f?" Like that was not planned. So that's a term that they use in the business is going into business for yourself, like going off script and doing what you want to do. So that heel turn was not planned, but they just did it to. I guess they did it to save their careers or keep their names in the spotlight. I guess. And then we go back to the creepy part.
yeah, yeah. Back to the creepy part, which yeah, he just pops up with Bob Orton's wife right there.
Yeah,
Bob Orton, I mean, she's like, "What, Emmett? Where are you? What?" And then gets an attack, and then like looks like the husband, like almost like sense it, kind of thing. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He
Uh,
wakes up too from a nightmare. It looks like, and I don't know if that's what I'm thinking. I see, but he's in bed with the other guy. So
yeah, that
maybe
was really weird.
yeah, he wasn't faithful with his wife either because he's with
Yeah,
somebody else. Yeah, that was
but
that
it's
took
almost like
that was a weird turn.
it was almost like he was fearing for something that was his wife. And like you said, like I thought the same thing. I was like, what?
That,
Is he bad with the guy?
gentlemen, that's an
You know what I
important
mean?
part. Don't pass that.
Go
That's
ahead.
an important
Let us
part.
know.
Go ahead, Joe.
When Frimsy is with that guy's wife, he actually attacks her. He actually attacks her.
Right.
At the end of the story, he reminds that his wife has skin uh, tissue embedded in her nails. Remember?
That's right. That's right.
But that's
Yeah,
the next issue, brother Joe.
Chuck Frenzy attacked the wife.
That's my spoiler, but that's what
You
you
spoil
think.
the next issue, brother Joe. Come on, man.
But that's what happens. He attacked her. Like, you think the dude would have some kind of coup, but man, you go in looking for that dude. He's not there. He's out of town. So you attack his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bullshit move.
That's that bullshit move right there. And of course, like not just his wife, but also like coming at the door where the kids are. That's what moved me. I was like, what?
Yeah, he got the kids too. Spoiler.
Damn, what is going on? So yeah, man, this got really deep. It
Yeah, and
got
he
really,
keeps
really
saying
deep.
the last page in this issue, "Beware, Emmett Crow. Beware, Emmett Crow. Like I'm coming for you." Emmett is the cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's locked and loaded. He's focused on taking him out, and that's how we end that issue.
Wow, wow. Like I said,
Would
great. It
would you
just keeps
say
getting better and better.
would you say full blown madman by now?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. Totally
Yeah,
lost his
if
mind,
you're gonna
man.
attack somebody's wife, then you're not all there, in my opinion. I mean, all the killing he's done, he's already there's a path.
And
There's
remember, ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line is trying to keep the belt. You'll
yeah,
anything desperate to
He
keep
got
that
so
belt.
desperate. But a lot of it's everything in his mind. It made him cuckoo. The whole chase for the championship.
I think
You know what I
that's
mean?
the kind of like one of the themes of the book is because wrestling is kind of like in the business of blurring reality for the audience. And I'm thinking that Chuck, being a wrestler for so long and then coming across these the voodoo people, I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows what's up. I don't think he knows right from wrong. I don't. I think he just totally lost it, and he's off the rails now. He just went crazy.
Yep.
Definitely, definitely. But guys, it's time for the grand finale. The grand
The
finale.
grand finale.
The grand finale. Crimson Cage numero 5.
The
It
cage.
actually has a cage and then he's in there bloody. He's like, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Let me get out. He looked like he's getting eaten by whatever the heck is going on there. You know what I mean? So keep on keeping on. We got like why wrestling? And you got Bob Orton again.
He's cutting his promo.
He's cutting his promo right here. You know what I'm saying? And like JT was saying, cut a promo in the beginning of every one of these books, which is amazing. You got the big cage coming down. The cage match for the world heavyweight champion. You know, Michael Buffer will come out usually.
That's definitely a territory days type of cage too. I've noticed because nowadays the cage doesn't have a roof, but back in the '80s the cages did have a roof, especially in the NWA and the in those territories down south. They had a roof on them, and they weren't like the big blue bars like the WWE used. They were actual steel mesh fencing or cage wire. But yeah, that's definitely an '80s thing. They all had roofs back then.
Good catch, JT. Good catch. Yeah, and you see. I wanted to say earlier, but they made a guy that looked like Gorilla Monsoon and stuff like that.
Yes,
And all that. Everybody loved the Gorilla. We talked with Jesse the Body Ventura and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, you see the uh, uh, female Vince McMahon
hmm
promo. Oh, Crimson Cage. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And then you see the promos before the matches. Back in the day, they were actually like they do that now, but they really did it back in the day. Big promo before the match, like Mean Gene back in the day with Hulk Hogan. Oh, you gotta do Hulkster. You gotta fight the $1 million man. You know, Mean Gene. I'm gonna. You know what I'm saying? So,
let me tell you something, brother.
let me tell you something, brother. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got the famous couple that's like out of their mind and stuff like that, legit out of their mind, but people think it's a work, you know.
Hmm. Yeah,
And then of course you have the wife gets her dream match with the with that
the
with that
Japanese. Yeah,
Japanese wrestler. Gets the dream match. They're going crazy, blah blah blah. And I think this is a match before the husband's match, right? This
yes.
happens in there, and I don't know what the hell happened, but she did a body to back.
Well, see, she was getting excited because the crowd was really getting into her comeback. And you see when they're on the top rope that the Japanese lady is telling her, "Hey, slow down, take your time," And I want to say that this next part is a botch. Well, it's obviously a botch because go ahead, Herm. I'll let you spoil it.
Well, for people who don't know what a botch is in wrestling, brother Joe, you want to tell us what a botch is?
No, you go right ahead.
Okay, so a botch is whenever you have a wrestler and a wrestler, they always plan on what match moves and stuff like that. She was supposed to do it in a certain way, and she kind of messed it up and did it the wrong turn here, left or right. Boom,
Right.
becomes a botch. So this pretty much what she did. She
Time
kind
out.
of botched it.
The worst. What? Speaking of that, watching WCW one night, I don't know who he was wrestling, but one of the Villanos, a Mexican wrestler, Villano, four. The wrestler missed his move, and grabbed the guy wrong, and I think he broke his neck right there on TV. Because man, it
Yeah.
was a trip, man. They shut it down quick.
I remember when Sid Vicious, or maybe he was Sid Justice back then, all he did was hop off the rope and broke his leg. And they showed that right on TV.
Yeah, twisted.
And that was disgusting.
Yeah, that was. But brother Joe just blew our little thing here. But yeah, that's exactly what Brother Joe said. A
Yep.
big botch. She tries to flip him over, flip her over, and boom, hits her whole head, neck, snaps it.
Yep.
She she's like, wrestling is a lie. Wrestling is a con.
And
Wrestling
that's
is a
what people
criminal.
don't
It's
understand.
hostile.
If you're not taking care of one another, somebody could get seriously hurt.
What
Right.
she did right there,
Crippled.
She got dead.
Yeah.
she got that quick. Um, she's trying to survive. She's in the back. Her neck is all messed up. And back
Right.
in the day, they didn't have doctors in the back. Back in the
Right.
day, like you got hurt, you were rushed to the hospital. If there's a hospital nearby or something like that, you have to wait till they come, and they have to get you out of there. And if you're a heel, trying to get you out of the ring, you know what I mean, was
Yeah.
tough. Like the crowd, it was hard to do.
Yes, it
So
was.
Frenzy's got a big championship match, and his wife is pretty much dying at the point, right?
Right. Right.
And she's thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna heal. I'll be all right. I'll be all right." She's not all right. She died, and then Vince McMahon. I'm gonna call her Vince McMahon.
Vanessa
She's
McMahon.
um she tells Frenzy, your wife just passed away. You know, you died. It's okay if you don't want to have the championship match tonight. You know what I'm saying? And he goes bananas. Like, no, there's the other time. It has to be now. So he's going crazy. Like, there's a chance for him not to lose his title, but he's going bananas. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And here comes the Bob Orton guy.
Bob
You
Orton.
know what I'm saying? And he gives the condolences because he just lost his wife and his kids.
Right.
His wife
Right.
and his kids. So he killed them. But at the moment, he doesn't know that. You know what I mean? He gives hug, sympathy hug, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He got
Right.
the sympathy hug right there. You know what I mean? And they're gonna go have their match. Ding ding ding, ladies and gentlemen. And he just goes bananas. Like he's just, what is going on with this guy? You
Yeah.
know?
He's wearing. He looks like he's got antlers, but it's kind of like a tree branches or something coming out of his head. I don't know if that's his like that's what he wore to the ring or what, but he definitely looks scary.
Yeah, I didn't understand that picture.
Yeah, I didn't get that, but maybe the possession is like really taking place, like really taking over his body or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know what the heck, but you have the Crimson Cage right there. You got the big
Yeah.
cage going on. They're ready to have their cage match. The guy just lost his wife. He's not caring. Uh, then you have that lady again, that dude or whatever, talking right there. You know, he's just like, wrestler is theater, wrestling is art, wrestling is one true sport. I mean, I was
Hmm.
reading his stuff earlier. You know, they're having their big match. Boom, 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 boom. Like smack. You know what I mean? So it's a nice little fight right here, and you know, Frenzy starts going a little crazy out of what they were supposed to be doing. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, just a little accident. He's like, you crazy, right? But it got you some more color. Get that heat on you. You get some sympathy. You're good at that, huh? Outlaw getting sympathy. He's like, shut your mouth. You know what I
Yeah. Then he
mean?
gets mad. Yeah.
He gets kind of pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're rumbling, they're fighting, and now they're literally like, it becomes from a work to a shoot, and that happens to wrestlers sometimes when they get mad at each other. They actually fight for each other really good. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
brother Joe? You got
That
something
can
to say?
happen. That has
Yeah, it's
happened.
happened before. Edge and Matt Hardy when they were fighting for leader. You know what I
Yes.
mean? The whole situation. They had a
Yes.
match, and Vince McMahon was like, you guys need to get it done in the ring, and that's it. You know what I mean? If they're gonna, whatever differences, do it out now. I don't want to ever hear it. You know what I mean? That's
Well,
why it was.
Sean and Bret Hart, because Sean kind of outed Bret, of being with Sonny, and his wife didn't take too kindly to that, and that's kind of what led to that. The whole Bret Hart and HBK and Sonny triangle. The Sunny Days
Oh,
promo.
yeah.
Well, how
So
close
yeah.
to the edge? How close to the edge is over the edge?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see right here because he look like he's going over the edge. There's a lot of like strange. You know what I'm saying?
Those apparitions or monsters or creatures, whatever they're called. And you see these three guys with almost like luchador masks. And I don't know who they are. I don't think they're ever referenced.
It's almost like they know about everything that happens because
I like to call
in
them the
one of the
Grim
matches,
Reapers. You know, like the
Right.
ones that always.
the wrestling Grim Reapers, right?
Yes,
Kind of
yes.
like so they're
They
walking
always
in
show
because
up when somebody's about to die.
yeah, and it's looking like it's happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they're having the brawl is just getting nasty. It's getting
Yeah.
nasty in there, nasty. Boom, they have the fight and all that. You know what I mean? He was supposed to let go. He's not letting go.
Yeah, he puts
And
him in
he,
the Cobra clutch because he's going into business for himself. Because you remember that the Cowboy is supposed to go over and be the new champion. Well, Chuck Frenzy's still in the state of mind that, no, I'm not letting this title go. So he goes into business for himself because I think they had another move planned. But he puts the Cobra clutch on him, and basically that'll put you to sleep. But the Cowboy, he gets his feet up on the cage and pushes the wall out, so the cage collapses.
and boom,
Yep,
big collapse,
there it
smash.
is.
Oh, the cage is broken.
Well,
The cage is broken.
there's a reason for it, but
Oh
Go ahead,
my
brother
God,
Joe.
they're dead. They're dead. They're dead. My God, they're dead. I'm trying to do the best JR impression. Oh. Then you see the crowd dead like zombie looking frenzy. It's
Yeah,
like he's just out of it, man. Falls count anywhere. She changes the rules. So like because the cage broke
yeah. The
and they're
cage
going
broke, so
at
she
it,
had to change it up.
change it up on the fly.
Right.
So this issue is a whole big fight, but it's worth it. Like you see everything that's going on and everything. Um, what I remember is him going, the cowboy going over 1, 2, and then you see at the end 3, and he realizes his championship reign is over.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The whole deal he made and all that done. So he walks over, match is over. We discussed this before. Like after a match like that, they're like, uh, frenzy, we're friends and all that. But it took its change here, cause
Hmm.
my man comes out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Explains to him what's going on. I mean, hold on, I just dropped my earpiece over here. Ah, so so he just like starts telling him, what was that all about? What was, like you were talking about business for himself kind of thing.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And the guy tells him, oh, it's just the work. The crowd love it. You're the champ now. So what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
then out of nowhere, some other guys show up. And there's a reason for that. Brother Joe, this is your spot right here. You were talking about it earlier.
There you go,
You know what
Joe.
I'm saying? This is your spot.
well,
Something he tells him.
you tell me the reason. You keep going. That's good.
You that was talking about it earlier. I don't remember. What's the reason?
Well, they start questioning him and stuff. They corner him, and they say,
They
hey,
they beat the shit out of him.
yeah, they beat the shit out of him and say, what was this all about? And
Like,
how did he
ooh.
how did he learn that there was the well during the match he had noticed on Frimsy he had scratches on his neck and stuff, and then he was told when he found his wife was passed away dead, that there was a fingerprint DNA on her fingernails.
Yeah, she put up a fight. She wouldn't go down without a fight.
Put up a fight.
She had DNA underneath her fingernails. She clawed her. She tried to claw her way out of back to survival, I guess. And he brings his friends there, and they basically beat him up and kill him. And it come to find out, I'll let it out of the bag, that he found out that Chuck killed his wife and kids. Yeah.
Just for the small message, like that small little details right there with the scratch and all. Just he knew his wife was a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he went down swinging. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bigger guy, wrestler, but she went down, and of course he got the beat down. And towards the end, he met the ending he was promised.
Yep.
Not the ending he wanted, but
That
the
was
ending he was promised.
the whole thing. That was the tragedy, the Shakespearean tragedy.
Yeah.
There's always consequences on deals that you do with the devil. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what happened. Louisiana type
That
vibe
voodoo
gets there.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that
Crazy
you hear
stuff.
about all the time. And man, very well written. John Lee's the man, man. The man, great written. The art was pretty well done. Well done
Yeah.
art. Very
I enjoyed
graphic. Very you got the wrestling down good. Got the action.
Oh, you can definitely tell he's a wrestling fan. He had all the lingo down. He knew the history of the territories, and basically when Vince started up WrestleMania, because that's essentially what Crimson Cage was. So yeah, he definitely knows his stuff. Very, very well done, in my opinion. Do you guys want to give a rating on the book?
Yeah, real quick before we give the ratings, we got a few new people. Perry in the house. Hopefully it's Perry. You know what I'm saying? Sheena's still in the house. Chamorro's still in the house. Our guy Taqi. Station, brother. Station, Taqi. Sounds, he says, Chamorro says, sounds phenomenal. Thanks, brothers. And I think Sheena asked a question earlier. I put, Kenneth is in the house. Station, brother.
Kenneth.
Good night. Good night. Are these reviews gonna be all the time? Cause I'm down for that. So we got a fan.
We have a fan. Thank you, Sheena.
Yeah, we're gonna look to do more of these kind of like reviews with like wrestling books, especially wrestling related. If there's anything with wrestling in the comic books, we're thinking of doing that. Or if there's a sports, like type of thing like this too, we'll do. You know what I mean? Anything like interesting.
Or any kind of comic book that we're all picking up and all reading. I'm fine with it.
I have a couple of questions about this comic book, gentlemen.
Go ahead,
Let's
keep going, brother Joe. Let's go. What
do you think this would have worked instead of the voodoo spiritual aspect as a drug-induced aspect? Because more to reality, I hear these stories from the dark side of the ring and stuff where these wrestlers get hooked on all kinds of steroids and what are they called, muscle relaxers and stuff. So when you're in a drug-induced state of constantly taking it, man, I could see monsters and demons and shit flying at me like, right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe John Lees is such a wrestling fan that he didn't want to bring like a black eye to the sport of wrestling. Maybe I'm just guessing. I have no idea why he did it, but I thought that the voodoo stuff worked well with the horror, because this is essentially a horror comic book too, as much as it is wrestling.
The only one who could really see it was Frimsy.
Yes, yeah, I see your point though, Joe. It could have worked well with just the drugs and stuff, but maybe John Lee's had enough respect for wrestling and all the wrestlers that had died not to bring cast that light on it. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Two ways. It could have been adult themed, or it's a good public service announcement against the use of hallucinogenic drugs.
True. True, true.
That's a
Because
good
man,
point.
I've heard stories. I've never. I've had some wild times, but I've never seen things that weren't there that I can
Um,
remember.
that's pretty good to think that far into it. I don't think that's what he meant to write. I think this was really Louisiana and all that
Hmm.
driven kind of thing. But that's pretty interesting. You know what
I
I'm
can
saying?
see
Stuff
other
like
stories.
that.
I can see other stories involving other wrestlers, other
Yeah.
stories.
Right.
But we
I
we
could
got
too.
we got so like you were saying, back to the ratings. What do you guys give a rating out of five backlogs? Started with JT. What are you giving this book as a rating?
Um, as a writer, he knew his topic well. Great story. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a wrestling fan. I'd probably enjoy this even if I wasn't a wrestling fan. The artwork was great. Played into the horror. Love the crim. The coloring was very, very good. I'd give it 4 backlogs.
Nice, nice,
Yep.
pretty high, pretty high. Oh, brother Joe, what you give it?
Well, I was gonna give it a. You know me, I don't like to score very high. So
I
I
see that.
thought about giving it a 3.5.
Oh, that's not
But
a very good score.
I'll join
That means you didn't like it.
I'll join with JT and give him the other way with a 4.5.
Well, everybody knows I love giving great ratings because one thing that I like the story, what it was about. You know what I mean? It was about wrestling, but it was more than wrestling. It was type of what kind of I don't know how I have trouble explaining myself sometimes, but it was more than just wrestling. It was like
Yes.
a life. You know what I mean? Anything that you want, desire in your life. Like that's what this guy desired. He wanted to be champion. His wife lost her life because she wanted to wrestle the Japanese girl. Top her championship match. Lost her life and went crazy. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like how far you go for what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like that big job you want, or the big championship, or the big in sports. Not even in sports. Anything you do in life. You know what I'm saying? What do you want? How bad you willing to go to get it, and will you make that deal with the devil to get it? And that's pretty much the kind of story you got in here. You got that kind of like mingling and all that. You have the wrestling side of it with all the words, all the wrestling lingo in it. At the same time, you have a whole story telling you about this guy, this woman, both of them, what they love, and they decide sacrificing their life for that. And you could have that not just in wrestling, in sports, in everyday life. You know what I
Here's,
mean?
here's where
Money.
here's where I mentioned a certain person. The fable of the story is, would you sell your soul for a taste of honey? Would you would you want a taste of honey? Would you sell your soul for a taste of honey? Because everybody wants to taste that honey. Shit.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? I'm like, would I sell my soul for this for another Pepsi? I would. I would. I need another one, wife. You know what I'm saying? but
Yeah, but knowing that it wasn't going to end up well, and they still wanted to do it, that just shows how much passion that they had. Like that's all, they were just driven to
Well,
that
they
one
didn't know.
goal.
They had a suspicion. The good and the bad. Oh, I can always get away. I can get some. Nobody can get away with it, but I can get away with it. I can cheat the devil. I can cheat the devil. I don't know if anybody else can, but I know I can beat the devil. And
yeah,
shit
there's
don't work
always that.
out.
So you're saying there's a chance? That's that always that question, and that's why I give high scores when it's something that has everything, all the elements, all the thing. And people say, "You crazy? I'm a critic. I'm gonna give it a low score." You know what I'm saying? Like that's why, Mr. Brother Joe. You know what I'm saying? A 3. I would have defended it right there at 3. You know what I'm
I think I
saying?
should have graded higher too now after hearing all this.
You see what these are? Don't make me come to the
But
ring. These, baby.
you guys know I go deeper into the uh my enjoyment more than me trying to critique every little thing a writer does, and you know what I'm saying? Did it
Don't make me
touch you?
come to the ring with
Did
these.
it, Brother Joe? I still haven't get my ratings. Come on. We'll
He's
be
ready
here
to
till
lay somebody
tomorrow.
out.
The Dylan show, the Dylan's horror show will finish before we I'm able to get my rating. You know what I'm
Tempted.
saying? But yeah, I love you though. I love you though. Like, you guys know where I'm going. 5. It's a 5 for me. Like it's a
Nice.
wrestling story. It's drama. It's voodoo. It's a horror book at the same time. It's wrestling horror. A touching story. Weird love story. And between the couple and all that, so I give it a 5 backlog. And what's total? What's it?
Mm.
You guys know what the total is? Usually Steph is good at this, but he's not
I
here
know.
right
Yeah.
now.
Because,
So
yeah, when you need.
um
Here, let me
my
my
$3.69,
nose.
no
dudes.
69 dudes. There you go. So guys, that's a wrap. I hope every Brother Joe's having a ball. I hope everybody enjoyed this. We went a little bit longer. I thought an hour and 15, 90 minutes. We are gonna end up doing this. I was trying to make it sooner, but I didn't want to rush because I was enjoying the heck every issue talking about with you guys. I hope you were at home was watching, enjoyed. I understand. I take 10, 12 minutes before I get to the story. You know what I mean? That's just what I do. And of course, what's going on in what do you call it, in progression, and what's going on right now? What would they say in the TV? Like,
Uh, Still in progress, or you talking
I
about
can't get
Dylan?
the word. Yeah, the Dylan show, right
It's
here.
still in progress.
It's still in progress. Addison, it's not Addison entire. You gotta watch it on the rewind. But shoot over to our buddies over there. They got talking about Firestarter. They'll probably finish with their review before we finish with ours, man. We started before them. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, guys.
Oh man, but
My fault.
Hey,
That's
I
my
had
fault.
fun, bro.
I have fun too. I hope you guys have fun. Awesome show tonight, James. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody that showed up. I hope you enjoyed it. And of course, tomorrow night, guys. Tomorrow night, the return of the hashtag Blame Fable Tonight show with Missing Link and myself. You know what I'm saying? We got Nick, Comic Culture, Harold Kumas, uh, go to White Castle, all that. You know what I'm saying? I remember White Castle back in the day. Now it's not as good as it used to be, but we don't have to go to that nostalgia right now. But tomorrow, check that out, 6 p.m. Eastern. It will be back. Of course, right before, right after is the Rock and Robbie Live. He returns too. So a great Sunday night for you guys. Um, I guess that's it, guys. Anything else you guys want to put before we go?
No, just I had a blast like I always do with you guys. Any excuse to talk about sweaty dudes in spandex, I'm always down. Um, I may have something later on in the week on my Instagram channel. I might do an unboxing.
Ooh,
Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. You know how that is with me. But yeah, I just had a ball. I always do, and I can't wait. Sundays are going to start feeling normal again with Blame Fable and Rock and Robbie. So I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you guys tune into all that. Support our Bad Batch brothers and Station.
station to my wife correcting me. It's Nick's Kicks and Comics, not Nick Comic Culture. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of Nicks,
Nick's
man. There's a lot
kicks.
of Nicks. Nick's Kicks.
Never enough Nicks.
Never enough Nicks. You know what I'm saying? Excellent. Brother Joe, you got anything going on before we leave?
You guys keep setting them up, and I'll keep knocking them down. Let's
There
rock
you
and
go.
roll, baby. We'll talk to you
Station
all
to
later.
that. Love you guys. Good
Love
night.
you.
Have a great weekend. See you tomorrow night, guys. Station. Peace. Ah!